In order to feed colostrum in an extended way, we need to store it to promote good antibody concentration and to keep the bacterial contamination low. And usually in Northern Hemisphere all year round calving systems, we use cold temperature storage to do this. And that can involve refrigeration or freezing. But seldom do farmers actually monitor the temperature of their cold temperature storage. So ideally, the fridge needs to be 4 degrees centigrade and the freezer needs to be minus 20 degrees centigrade in order to get that preservation, that cold temperature preservation effect. And oftentimes, nobody will monitor the temperature, so it's as good as doing nothing. The 4 degrees C refrigeration, you can store the colostrum for 2-3 days before you feed it, depending on the initial bacterial contamination when you put the colostrum in the fridge, because some bacteria will still multiply even at cold temperatures. And when you freeze colostrum, you can store it for 6 to 12 months, again, depending on initial bacterial contamination and providing you keep your freezer at minus 20. If you have limited cold temperature storage facilities, or you run a seasonal system where you have too much colostrum to preserve in this way, you can use chemical preservation. And there are commercial acidifier products on the market. So they could be formic acid, propionic acid, citric acid. The issue with these is that sometimes they can acidify the colostrum too much. And calves won't drink colostrum if it's less than pH 4. So palatability issues come into play. And sometimes the acidifiers can be variably efficacious depending on contact time. And sometimes you need more acid to preserve the colostrum than the food safety authorities would say is safe. So my preference for chemical preservation is potassium sorbate. It's a food grade safe product which is used in wine and cheese production for human consumption. And it comes in a granular form. So you can mix it up at a 50% solution, and then you can spike your colostrum at 1% by volume. So for example, if you have 100 mils of colostrum, you would put 1 mil of this 50% solution in to preserve it. And the beauty of potassium sorbate is that when we've tested it, admittedly under laboratory conditions, we find that at ambient temperatures, even at ambient temperatures, it doesn't have to be refrigerated, you can control the bacterial proliferation in colostrum.